And gentlemen and men, Jman and P and Jman back at it again with another Football Friday.
Hey man,
It's 95 degrees. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna go out there,
got
but
me.
we here with another episode, another installment. This is our third installment. So thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for being here. And we got a little bit to talk about. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all boys.
Yes.
The NFL has been kind of crazy. We've had injuries. We've had surprise wins so far. We've had rookie emergencies, and I'm only talking about one rookie. Maserati Mar. Whatever. We gonna get to everything. We gonna get to everything. We'll get to everything. But first, I always gotta ask my brother on my right on my screen, maybe the left on your screen. I don't know which way we're
Actually, I
facing.
think you're on my right.
I'm on your right. Yeah,
I
cause
think
you
it's
on.
mirror, so technically you'd be on my left.
Yeah, so I think I need to be pointing this way.
Okay, yeah. So wait,
I
I'll do
think.
it this way just so we'll cover
Yeah,
base.
just in case we gonna do it like these. J Man, how you feeling? Talk to me.
Man, I'm feeling good right now. I'm actually probably in 2 hours about to go watch the new Transformers movie, so I'm kind of
Okay.
in good spirits right now. So feeling good. I'm feeling great.
The new Transformers movie. Who is your favorite Transformer character for the people in the back at home?
Give me Megatron, bro. I just love people on timing, bro. I love people on timing. If you know my history with characters, yeah, he's my Randy Orton, my Thanos of the Decepticons, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, like my favorite Transformer is probably Optimus Prime. It's not no cap. Like Optimus Prime, he makes you feel some type of way. Like Optimus Prime, when I was a kid, made me want to go outside and really box a Decepticon because it was on site. It was on site at all times. So I'm gonna have to say my favorite Transformer is
Man, in
Optimus Prime.
this, if you're watching the live stream right now or the YouTube video, go ahead, let us like down below. Let us know your favorite Transformer, man, and why, and why.
And why you gotta let us know why. And people probably sitting at home like, yo, I tune in this show not for Transformers. I tune in this show for football. But I promise y'all, everything that we say leads into something else. And while we're talking about our favorite Transformers, my favorite Carolina Panther, Bryce Young, unfortunately has transformed his way to the bench. And that's where we're leading to, J-Man. The Carolina Panthers have just, not just informed, it probably happened a couple days ago, that Andy Dalton will be starting week 3 against the Las Vegas Raiders. And yeah, man, the main question at hand is how do you feel, J-Man? Do you feel like the Panthers are ruining him? And do you feel like he can reemerge from what he has going on right now?
Ooh, that's tough. I think Bryce Young's situation is in a really weird situation. Well, he's in a weird situation in Carolina because number one overall pick. We've seen. I'll use Baker. I think Baker's probably a big example. We've seen the former first overall pick. Sorry, struggle and then kind of find his resurgence. So I don't think it's over for Bryce at all. I think it's a reality check for him. Like, hey,
Right.
my leash is pretty small here in Carolina. Even though Carolina, in my opinion, has done a horrible job of building around him. The guy that was selected spot after him has had so much support from his organization. And then you go look at the number one overall pick, and it's like, well, you got the number one overall pick. You traded up for him, and then didn't do anything to like all of the playmakers in Carolina are gone. So I
Right.
don't
I
see how
mean,
this come out.
as a Panthers fan, every jersey that I own, we can take a look back. I own a Bryce Young jersey that I currently have on, a Christian McCaffrey jersey, Cam Newton jersey, Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns, Luke Kuechly, and a Thomas Davis. One of those players are actively on the team, and now he's on the bench. So the way I feel about the Bryce Young situation is, and a lot of people, of course, tag me. Anything Carolina news, people are going to tag me, bug me about it.
I'm
I
a hater.
feel
I'm a, like you. Go ahead.
he one of those people, but he don't do it to the degree that other people do it to, which I can appreciate,
I'm a
J-Man, for
Bryce
that.
Young enjoyer. I troll, but I actually do love Bryce Young. So
That's good. I loved him at Bama. I thought he was a. I'm not even gonna get into that because I feel like everybody knew who I wanted coming out of the draft. I made it well known. I even made my own hashtag for it. It didn't. We chose Bryce Young. I lived with it. I was okay with him. He was a baller. I feel like what Carolina is doing is right. I feel like you bench him because I'm thinking both ways. For Bryce Young, you got to be relieved, bro. You don't have to go out there, put out bad film, look terrible because if Carolina lets you go, bro, you really have no film to go anywhere else. It's purely speculation and people are going to be banging on your upside rather than what you actually did. You know what I'm saying? So, and for Carolina, it's good because if you bench him now, he could possibly reemerge while he's sitting and waiting. Or if you do decide to trade him, you leaving people on a mystery. Like, obviously his rookie season wasn't his fault. You leave him out there in the second year, because I'm going to tell people, last year wasn't his fault. Offensive line was terrible. Receivers were terrible. But this year, Carolina is top 5 in offensive line right now. So that's not a good look on Bryce because you got Tom. The receiving core is better than it was last year. I ain't going to say about much, but it's better. So that ain't going to make you look that good either.
Let me ask you this. Do you think they should have sat him his rookie year, or do you think it doesn't, like, does it matter? Does it matter to him? Or is it just like it's not going to be a good situation regardless? I know I've seen a lot of...
I don't think it was a good situation regardless. Because from what I seen last year, with Frank Wright, the scheme was completely different from when Andy Dalton played in that Seattle game than when Bryce Young was out there the whole year. So I don't think Frank Wright wanted him in general. I think Tepper and company, well, Tepper and Nicole Tepper, I think they wanted him. I think Frank Wright wanted Stroud. So with that being said, I don't think he was in the right spot last year. And this year, it's kind of a mess, bro, because Dave Canales is supposed to be the quarterback fixer. He fixed Geno, he fixed Baker, and now you benching Bryce, which is a whole reason why you can't. You got hired to come over here. So now Dave Canales look kind of like, but you on a 6-year deal. We can't blame you. We obviously can't blame Tepper, which is what the whole city been wanting to do anyway.
Yeah.
So, Bryce, you kind of the middleman, bro. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's going to save you rather than...
Yeah. Give some time to reset, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Take a break, bro. You don't got to keep forcing yourself out there. You can't do it. Take some time to
He's a strong-willed individual. Like, Bryce Young's very mature. Like, you can obviously tell. I mean, I like what he said when they approached him at the locker. I don't know if people are religious. I don't know. I can't speak for y'all. I can only speak for me. But I really liked what he said, and he didn't lose his confidence because his confidence is in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And either way, he going to go out there and do what he can't control. I can respect that as a man. As a football player, though, I need you to tighten up. For show you right on. I need you to tighten up. Like, Jman, what did they say about Bryce Young coming out of the draft? Very smart, very aware.
Very good precision. Obviously not that big in stature, but he can move.
Very savvy with the rock.
Yeah.
Very savvy. That's what we heard. Carolina ain't really allowed him to do that so far. I mean,
not at all.
I feel like the schemes are so dull in Carolina every year, and I get it. Personnel is a huge part of scheme, and we don't have a lot of good personnel. But at the end of the day, I feel like they said they had these conversations with him, but where are these conversations leading? It's still the same thing. Now, is Bryce Young's like everything okay there? No, I mean I hate how he does the tippy toe drop back. I hate that. Like, I get it. He's kind of sliding when he drops back. It's not really urgency. It's kind of cool, collected, which I get it, bro. But you in the NFL, you got to speed that up. Everything has to be sped up. Time and a half in the NFL. So I hope he can emerge, man. Honestly, that's the only word that I can put out there. Like Superman, the word hope. Kal-El was he the hope. He the hope from his planet. Bryce Young, I hope you can be the hope in Carolina, bro. It's just we put down too much for you. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. How you feel? How do you feel? Did I cap?
No, I think you're right. I think he can resurge. I think we give up way too quick on players, and I think Bryce is too good of a player to give up on. Like, if I was looking at Bryce play, I'm like, but I've seen him play at Alabama, like through film and in person. So, and I know he's a very good player. So it's kind of weird to see him not do so good in the league, or at least average to getting better. So I know he still got it. I'm not giving up on him. No, I don't want to do that.
I don't. Unfortunately, I'm a part of the problem when it comes to giving up on young players. really early. But it's only because the NFL has dumbed it down so much for young players to succeed. It's like, bro, if you don't get it now, then it's like, bro, I don't even know what to tell you. Like with Mahomes, he sat. So it was, and then even Mahomes coming out of college, like yeah, he had the tools to be great. He sat. He has a Hall of Fame head coach. Now he is what he is.
I mean, but a lot of great NFL players sat.
Yeah, they sat.
Obviously, if it wasn't due to a Drew Bledsoe injury, he probably wouldn't have played.
Right.
Then you had Aaron
Rodgers sat
almost 3 years, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Rodgers sat for a while.
Jordan Love sat almost 3 years behind Rodgers. So it's weird that like the winning teams do the right formula.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
that's why I say I give up a little bit, because we so quick to slap generational on everybody. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I've been bamboozled a little bit. Like, I think Bryce Young is really good, but they low-key slap. I ain't gonna say they slap generational on him, but they said he undoubtedly #1 undisputed pick, and I feel like a lot of people forgot that, Jman. You're a witness. A lot of people coming into the draft, no matter what team was #1, Bryce Young was going.
Yes. That is very
now that Stroud is balling, everybody forgets that. I don't understand. But we're so quick to slap generational, and even me, I slapped generational on Caleb Williams quick.
I did too. I'll admit I did too.
I still believe it. But these first 2 games ain't showing me what it need to be showing me. So,
hey, that's another discussion for another day. That's an interesting one.
That's another discussion for sure. But I feel like a player's progression is, I mean, it's on the fans for like bandwagoning it so hard off rip, and then it's also on the teams, bro. Like, okay, we're gonna make this pick. Usually, what happens when a quarterback goes to a team, even when Baker went to Cleveland, like like since we've been growing up, we've seen it. Like the #1 pick going to a team where they're absolutely trashed, like no talent around them or anything. But back in the day, J-Man, teams used to build they get the quarterback, then they build. Now what we starting to see is people throwing away everything to get the generational quarterback, to get the duplicate Mahomes of the world, and not build with the team. Absolutely. So it's on a lot of things, bro.
That's you brought up a really interesting point right there, because it reminds me of the Trey Lance trade.
Still the worst trade in NFL history. I don't care. Not NFL history, but in recent memory, I don't care.
We'll talk about bad trades in a second. That was my little segue. But I do want to. Can I get some class, man? Can I get some class?
Yeah, hold on, J-Man. Let me get you right, bro. You going crazy, J-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, when I'm not segueing, he's segueing. That's a beautiful brother right there.
But real quick, actually, on the Trey Lance thing, Trey Lance was even at the time of being scouted, a lot of people noticed he didn't play a lot of games in high school or in college, and yet I can understand taking a risk on a player just because the reward might be amazing, but you guys scout literally to what shoes he'd be wearing on game day. But realize he has not played a lot of games, but they traded up so far just to take Trey Lance. And now just in a few years, he's a backup. Because one, he didn't get the chance to develop in college or high school or college. And then in the league, you guys didn't really do a good job of developing him either, because it was just thrown to the wolves. I need people to realize that's not the formula. It doesn't work like that, or you will never, because these guys are just raw. Like, I don't care how you mentioned generational. I don't care how generational these players are. Right. If they don't have any experience in the NFL, because you also mentioned this earlier as well, the time speeds up very quickly. Who's supposed to know how to do that coming out of college? In college, 1 foot counts as a catch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have all day to hike and look and twirl, twist. As you see with Caleb Williams, that doesn't work anymore. So,
yeah,
I don't know, it's a tough situation.
It's real. I mean, for sure. And I feel like this is a whole nother conversation. This ain't even Bryce Young. This ain't the segue that we planned going into what we about to talk about. But since J-Man broke it down, we finna talk about this right here. The game is so simplified to the point, and I'm not gonna say simplified because football is art. Football is beautiful. It's X's and O's. It's complex in every form. I'm not insulting anybody when I say this. But college caters so much to what they have within the program. So, like, with Caleb Williams could go out there and do anything he wanted at USC. Anything. Twirling backwards, running behind the line of scrimmage, 15, 20 yards. NFL different. Not only because of the play calling or whatever, the schemes, whatever. This is grown men. This is D linemen running 4, 5, 4, 6 right beside you, bro. You're not doing that.
And they're getting paid millions to hit you as hard as possible.
They are not going for that, bro. This is not college, gang. This is not the Pac-12. Like, with Caleb Williams, like, respectfully, and I think he had one of the greatest college quarterback campaigns you could ever have. But, bro, you wasn't even in the SEC. Like, you wasn't even in the most competitive brand of football in college.
Yeah.
And now you in the NFL, bro. That's what I'm trying to say about these players, man. Like, sometimes it gets a little hard. Josh Allen is an anomaly. Like, bro, you were in Wyoming. You just had the traits. You're just an animal. The thing about Josh Allen is the game is faster, but Josh Allen is 9 times out of 10 faster, stronger, more powerful than who you got on the other side of the field. So it works for him. But when you somebody like Bryce Young, and you somebody like Trey Lance, bro, you just need time. You know what I'm saying? You need time to get your eyes there to adjust. Now, Bryce Young's been a winner his whole career. So, like, no disrespect to him, but it's like, man, I just don't think the speed of the game, the processing of the game is what you thought it was coming in. It's not his fault. I hate it for him, bro. I hate it for him. 2 different head coaches to start your year. 3 different offensive coordinators to start your NFL career. It's tough, bro. It's tough sledding. And since we talked about Trey Lance, man, I'm gonna let you segue us into the next one since you kind of did it already.
So I kind of hesitate, and then
you did do a KD hezzy pull on me just now.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and segue to some of the worst trades in NFL history. The Panthers are probably on that list in recent memory, and that's why we wanted to talk about a little bit. But I actually wanted to talk about another trade that I've trolled quite a bit, and that is actually Russell Wilson to the Broncos. I feel like that, especially because what they gave up and how much money they paid Russell Wilson. I was never a fan of that. I've played Russell, well, not me, but the Eagles have played Russell Wilson quite a bit in his career, and he tortured us. Like, all that, he did a lot of spinning, twirling, but he got away with it because he's just Russell Wilson. And it was probably the most frustrating thing I've ever watched on TV, where I wanted to smash everything in front of me, because no one can ever tackle him, and he could just throw the ball deep to Lockett or someone like that. So, but I also think he's in his tail end in his career. So the fact that the Broncos like paid top dollar for Russell Wilson and it turned out to be the worst season I've ever seen, like, from a quarterback, was pretty ridiculous. I still troll it too.
I feel like, bro, you are not wrong. Russell Wilson to Denver, correct? That's your trade.
Yes, Russell Wilson.
So
let me see if
that trade at first started out terrible, but Russ's second year in Denver was actually pretty good, to the point of they benched him for playing so well. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like that. But I definitely agree. That was an overhaul of a trade. That trade wasn't that great. Me personally, I'm gonna stand on the trade that I was talking about, which, I mean, you brought it up first. It's Trey Lance, bro. Like, the Trey Lance trade to this day, to me, is still one of the craziest trades that the Niners could have made. Like, I mean, at the time, cool, but Jimmy Garoppolo was still getting you the NFC championships, bro. At the end of the day, like, it had to be some other piece to get you over the hump. You had a top. I'm pretty sure they had a top 10 pick at the time. Let me look at that draft class, okay? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna look at this draft class real quick. I'm gonna get the details of this trade. I don't wanna knock y'all. The 49ers. Wait. The 49ers traded 3 first-round picks to draft Trey Lance at 3rd. Jesus.
Yeah.
So the 2021 draft had, okay, they selected Trey Lance The available names that was available after Trey Lance was this, as follows. They could have got Justin Fields. I
What?
mean, Rashawn Slater,
What?
Zach Wilson, bust don't matter.
Yeah, he's boogie me.
They wouldn't have drafted Kyle Pitts because they have Kittle.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase was available.
Who that was gonna hurt? Yeah. That's,
Pat Surtain was available. J.C. Horn was available. Devontae Smith was available. Jalen Waddle was available. That's just the first round. That's just the first 16 picks of a mock draft.
There was some dogs.
The 2021 draft class was some hellions. So now I ask people, and people always ask me, why do you feel like Trey Lance trade is the worst? Because imagine the Niners now, if they happen to stumble with Brock Purdy, you know what I'm saying? It's like Brock Purdy would have still been an option, bro. He was the last pick in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Later on. But imagine the Niners now with Surtain, Jamar Chase, Waddle, or
man,
gotta be one of the worst trades, bro. Gotta be.
That's
Gotta be.
actually great insight because obviously right now, last year as well, the 49ers are still considered the best team in football. I can only imagine if they had Surtain, Waddle, Devonta Smith, if they had, I mean, they felt like it. And anybody else they chose, because like you mentioned, they did pick up Purdy at the end of the draft. Obviously, they didn't know at the time. We're looking in hindsight, but at the time they know Brock Purdy's going to be Brock Purdy. But that would have probably been the best team in football for the next 10 years. Obviously, I don't know how they pay money, but the 49ers, hey, I'm saying it right now, they launder money. I'm just saying it now. There's no way, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, they definitely got some money issues. No, they definitely been finessing some money around in some ways. I mean, even if we are looking at the hindsight, let's go ahead and take it back then, Jman. Let's go ahead and take it back. Even if Brock Purdy never came in the picture or they never traded for McCaffrey or whatever, the base team that they had, you could have ran Garoppolo's deal out. You could have signed. I mean, eventually, if we're looking at it, Kirk Cousins would have became available at some point. Rodgers became available at some point. Tom Brady became available at some point. Yeah. Which even still, y'all chose Garoppolo over Brady. So why didn't y'all choose Garoppolo over Trey Lance? What did Trey Lance have at the moment that made you want to trade 3 first-round picks for this guy?
I don't know.
People forget about this trade, J-Man.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is really one of the reasons why the Niners have not won a bowl.
To the end of that trade, they traded Trey Lance to Dallas, I believe, for a 4th-round pick, if I remember correctly. So the value you even got back was way worse than a couple 2 years after, 3 years after. The value you got was not even worth it for the move up. So yeah, that probably is the worst trade of all time. I think about
that. That right there is I mean, I guess people don't view it as a bad trade because the Niners obviously still went to a Super Bowl after that. They still the powerhouse after that. So I get it. But I feel like if they didn't make that trade, they would be Super Bowl champions right now. At least once. Because the 2021 draft, 2022 draft, 2023 draft had a lot of key figures in it that could have helped their team way more than what they did for Trey Lance. He didn't do anything for them. So, is there any more trades that you have in mind, J-Man?
Let's go to a infamous one. Let's talk about the move up in the 1998 draft. And if you know this draft by heart, you know what I'm about to mention. The San Diego Chargers move up to the number 1 spot, which costed them 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and 2 players to get Mr. Ryan Leaf. And at the time, I've watched a lot of documentaries and stuff about this, actually, funny enough. But at the time, it was a 1-2 race between him and Mr. Peyton Manning.
Damn.
And eventually, the San Diego Chargers chose Ryan Leaf over Peyton Manning, which is probably the worst decision in their franchise because they will eventually, Peyton Manning will obviously have a great career with the Colts and then continue to have a great career with the Denver Broncos after a neck injury, which obviously we thought was Darrell's career, ends up winning another Super Bowl. So Peyton Manning, obviously Hall of Famer, the
Yep.
sheriff, whatever you want to call him, and the Chargers didn't necessarily get to reap those benefits.
I mean, I don't really like that trade because it kind of, honestly, I mean, it's kind of what Carolina about to go through. I mean, we chose Bryce Stroud is probably gonna go on and be that dude for 10 years to come, and I ain't gonna say he's gonna be like Peyton Manning, but it's looking like he gonna be something.
It could be
So
something.
it hurts.
Now, I do want to talk about the Panthers trade real quick, and I know we can move on after that. But the Panthers trade, I have dogged on them personally because I just found it pretty absurd that they did that in specifically. But right now, it's not looking as bad as I initially perceived because the Bears aren't looking like they're a little injured right now, so it's kind of hard to gauge. But they're not looking as great as I thought they could have possibly looked, at least offensively.
Right.
Because I don't even think, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't even think Caleb Williams have thrown a touchdown yet.
No rookie quarterback has thrown a touchdown in the NFL currently.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
It's a wild stat though.
Yeah, that's a wild stat. I don't think I've ever heard that before, so that's interesting.
We 2 weeks in. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure it'll be broke next week. I mean, I mean, we're gonna get into predictions, but I think Caleb Williams will have a pretty good game next game. But hopefully, I mean, we don't know. We don't know. But moving on, Jman. Moving on. I got a mini game for us,
Ooh,
right?
Okay.
And it's gonna be a one word. You know what I'm saying? The first thing that pops into your head when I say a name or a player, a coach, or a team, might not be as many coaches, but I mean, you know, I'm gonna throw some coaches in there for your team. But
Okay.
we gonna throw it out, and the first word that pops into your head, you say it out loud. If I stop you and say elaborate, you do. If I let it ride, I let it ride. If there's something that you do want to elaborate, you let me know. Right? Okay. The first thing that I'm thinking of, the first team I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna throw it out here because I got them all wrote down. I just want to. I'm so happy to do this. I just want to chill. Okay. Number one team. Let's go with the Cowboys.
The 90s.
Okay, the 90s. I ain't gonna lie, I do elaborate a tag because I what you mean in the 90s.
Yes.
You caught me on the first one.
The Super Bowl, the last time the Cowboys even won a Super Bowl was before I was even born, and that was in the early 90s. I don't hear nothing about the Cowboys fans talking trash to my Eagles because they can't win nothing. And that was the last time they won anything.
Did that feel good?
Yes,
That
listen.
feels good.
If y'all didn't know, I live in the heart of Texas, so I am surrounded by Dallas Cowboys fans, and I'm
All
gonna
the
let them
time.
figure it any second of the day. Much respect to those 90s teams, though. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, all those guys. Cocaine Cowboy, and
Cocaine Cowboy. That's funny as hell.
those guys. But hey,
So look, I'm gonna keep going.
I love that. Thank you.
This team is 0-2. Surprisingly, they play the team that I just mentioned in week 3. We're gonna go with the Ravens. What is your one word for the Ravens?
Scary. That's my word. Scary. I think I'm scared for them. I think they should be scared. They might. I don't know. They keep doing this. They're not going nowhere. They're not going to make the playoffs, which it sounds absurd to talk about the Ravens in specific, but they should be scared right now. I think statistically, sorry, I'm elaborating just a small little bit.
You can elaborate everything now that I'm thinking about it. That's fine.
Statistically, only 11% of teams that are 0-2 go make the playoffs, and I think they're down. They're going this way and not this way.
Right.
Yeah.
With the hard division too as well.
With the hard division, yes.
Okay, this team is 2-0. This team is 2-0. Don't really have any weapons. They good at a lot of their rosters. Somehow finding wins. One word for the Buffalo Bills.
What's the word? How do I say that word? How would I? Not persistent. I don't know. I don't know the word I'm going to say, but I'm going to use a lesser version of that word. I'm just going to say consistent. I'll say consistent. Um, the Bills are. I thought they were going to be like horrible. Not horrible. It's Josh Allen. Let's be honest, but not as good as they were in previous years. But somehow they just. I don't know. They make it happen. Like it's.
It may happen. Well, my word for them would have been machine. Honestly, I feel like when you have a Cam Newton, a Josh Allen, who's such a dynamic game changer, you can throw anybody around them and they just gonna find what they need to do. So it's just a machine. It's just a machine. Well, a machine. All right, I'm gonna go to a player, and I'm going to say, "Oof, I'm sorry." Yeah, I'm gonna go to a player. Actually, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go to a player, Jman, and I'm gonna go with Derek Carr. He's tearing the league up.
Dare I say, the current reigning MVP of the league right now, which just sounds the most bizarre thing I think I've ever said in my that has come out of these votes. But I'm not gonna deny him the honors of being my number one spot right now because of who he is or what his name is. But I mean, the guy, I don't know, Clint Kubiak, I believe that's how you say his name. Clint has turned Derek Carr into the reincarnation of Tom Brady, bro. This guy is literally on a tear right now. I believe they have 90 something points already in the first 2 weeks. And my Eagles play him next week, and our defense looked garbage. Well, we'll talk about that game in a second because I'm still frustrated. My dad's a Falcons fan. He
turned it up on you.
He turned it up on me on the last couple. I was not too excited about that, but we play them next week. Our defense does not look great right now. I dare I say, even though this sounds absurd to say from Eagles fan, he might put up another 40. No cap.
Jeez.
So he's the reigning MVP for me right now. Love it or doubt it, that's my belief right now.
Okay. I'm going to say next team, 49ers.
They can win it all. Well, that's not one word. They can win it all. That's my word.
Your word and my word is totally different. Screwed. I think they're screwed.
Whoa, talk to me.
Too many injuries. Too many. And it's happening way too fast.
Yeah.
McCaffrey's gone. Debo's down. Kittle's starting to... His hamstrings messed up. Bro, the Niners are screwed right now. And the loss to the Vikings made it look so much worse. And I was like, bro, anytime somebody's out and Purdy back there by himself, it never looks good. It never looks good. So right now, I'm gonna say screwed.
I can see. I don't know. I'm still a very big believer in defense. I think they can keep going. Like even in the Vikings game, Sam Darnold balled out, but they still almost didn't pull it out because Fred Warner just happened to have the best game of his life apparently. I mean, he's I consider him a Hall of Famer. So
all for it.
They have such an elite defense. I think they can do enough for Purdy to do enough without his weapons in the meantime. So
for sure. It also helps that their division is weak as hell, honest to God. Like, when you play the Rams twice, and they're about to play the Rams here shortly, and the Rams won't have Puka or Cooper. That's dubs. Arizona's hooping, but it ain't enough. It might be enough, though. Kyler Murray is like that sometimes, but I don't think it's enough. Yeah. When I say the Niners are screwed, if they don't get the injuries under control, it's just I don't want them to fall into the hole of, okay, let's say they'll be fine in the regular season, but let's say they get a 3rd seed, 4th seed, and let's say the Eagles, do what they do, and then you end up having to go to Philly in December. You don't want to go to Philly in December. You don't want to go to Detroit in December and play. I mean, I know it's enclosed, but you just don't want to do that. So that's what I mean by screwed right now. Another one word, Jman, is a player. We're gonna go with Baker Mayfield. How do you feel? One word, Baker Mayfield.
Striving. I think that's my word.
Journalist Jman. Hold on, I like that one.
A little bit.
I like that one. I like that one. Okay, striving. He is striving. The NFC South, bro. I don't know. There's something going on with them.
I don't know. The division. Okay,
The
if y'all go
division.
back to our first live stream, I dogged on the NFC South, but that has probably been the most surprising division so far, which
Most
I'm
definitely.
actually pleasantly appeased by. Like I like it. It's fun. It's fun.
Back in the day, NFC South football was like defense. I mean, Drew Brees was there. I mean, people don't really remember the old NFC South. Like when Drew Brees was there, Jeff Garcia was the quarterback for the Bucks. We had DeLone, Day, and then the Falcons, of course, had a mixture of Vic and then Matt Ryan, stuff like that. So, bro,
Yeah,
NFC South has always been hard hitting, bro. It's kind of looking like the old days. I just wish Carolina was a part of it, honestly. But
yeah.
that's good. That's good. We got a couple more, J-Man, before we jump right into your analytical.
All right.
I'm going to go with a team. I'm going to go with a team. They don't score offensive touchdowns. They're somehow winning games. The Pittsburgh Steelers. How do you feel?
Bro, what a bizarre team. Obviously, their defense is probably their trademark. TJ
Absolutely.
Watt is literally a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, the guy, you can slap him on any team and they're going to win games. That's where you don't see that much from a defensive player. Um, Offensively, I do think they do need to start kicking it into gear because you mentioned like the
Yeah.
postseason, the close games, just kicking field goals, you can maybe get away with that. But in the postseason, you're going to get so fried. It's crazy. Like it's going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
ridiculous.
You're going to get fried. You're
Um,
going to get fried.
if Fields ends up becoming the official starter, I don't know if they officially announced it yet or whatever, but he'll have time to progress. But again, they have some offensive weapons. It's just
Right.
really feel like they're utilizing them like that. But we'll see. But yes, I think they're okay.
They all right.
Uh,
They all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
They all right. They all
Yeah.
right. That's good. That's good to hear. Okay. Last one that I'm going to say, and unfortunately, we talked about this last week. Tua went down. You know what I'm going with this. What happens to the Dolphins, man? One word. How do you feel about the Dolphins at this state?
Derail. That's derail is my word. They're about to plummet. Um,
Don't believe in Skylar that much. You don't
I
think he
don't
gonna
believe in
do it?
Skylar much. I know, like, I mean, I've seen him play. Obviously, it sucks for backups to come in at like random times of the season, so it's kind of hard to gauge it. But I don't think Skylar can beat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar, like any of these guys in a shootout game. So I don't know. He has
Do
to
you
play.
believe? Do you believe in me? Look, I mean, do you believe in the scheme enough to keep them afloat?
That's tough. I love them. I love the scheme down there. It's literally just find Tyreek, find Waddle in the short game, um, and let them make a play. And plus the running backs are just fucking out of their
I mean,
minds.
they fast. They fast as hell.
Their
They
whole,
loaded.
their whole
I'm
offense.
pretty sure they whole team run a 4-4, 4-3, 4 like 4-2.
Yeah.
Sub 4-4. The whole team damn near.
I think
So
the scheme is good. It's just like, will Skylar make the throws he has to make? Right, that third down and 8, right, or the
right,
third and 4 when it's in the fourth quarter. You need to go win the game. Can he make those throws? And I just don't. I don't believe he can.
you don't believe he can. All right, y'all. That was our version of the mini game. We're gonna call it. I'm gonna actually call it the Riddler because it's one word, man. You never know what J-Man gonna say with these one word mini games. You never know what I'm gonna say during these one word mini games. But we're gonna transition to J-Man Spotlight as we do every week, called the Analytical, where he picks one game, breaks it down, tells us his thoughts, and for this week, he has chosen his own team. Right, J-Man? Correct.
Yes. Well, we'll talk about last week, but
Last week.
no, you meant for this week. Okay.
For
Okay.
week 2, you breaking down the game for week 2. You chose the Eagles
Um,
and Falcons, correct?
yes, for the week 2 game, and I'll also talk about, and I'll spotlight a game for week 3 as well. But for week 2, let's talk about the Eagles real quick. I know we don't have too much time. Very disappointing game. Jalen Hurts definitely felt the loss of AJ Brown, and I think even Devontae Smith when he did his little bad boy celebration. Um, Braden Covey, I saw you. You're not slick. You're not one of the bad boys. Stop. You're like the cop. Anyway, uh, anyway, Jalen Hurts didn't look great. For some reason, he was taking a lot of unnecessary hits. I wasn't really much of a fan of. The passing game did not look great at all. Speaking of Kobe, I think he threw like 6, 7 passes for only like 30 yards to Kobe. Other than that, it was just run the ball to Saquon, which Saquon has been amazing, like amazing.
Undoubtedly.
Him and Bijan to me were probably the best players on the field that night. Um, Jalen Hurts didn't look great. The wide receiver core didn't look great. I didn't even know we had Jahan Dotson because I sure did not see him on Monday night. Um, yeah, it was Devontae Smith obviously was going to get double covered. I mean, let's be honest. You take him out, you have Jahan Dotson and Bryce Covey to guard.
It's rough, man.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I noticed in that Eagles game. I got some bullets.
Okay.
Number one, D-line did nothing. Did nothing.
They were
Sweat and Huff do nothing.
Nolan Smith as well. I mean, I was very big on him coming out of Georgia, but if you do follow me on Twitter, you would see I'm not too happy with any of my Georgia players on that D line because Carter, I mean, he's gonna probably get double teamed. Let's be honest. Huff, I miss Hassan, man. I miss Hassan.
They miss Hassan Reddick real bad. They really do. The defense is still lacking, bro. Pretty bad. Bijan had himself a field day through the middle, outside. He was running through tackles. He was doing whatever he wanted to do. Otherwise,
I mean, it was just dirty. Like,
it was a nasty game.
I will say, despite the defensive players playing individually, I actually did not like the scheme we ran. I think I counted. I didn't have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure I counted while I was watching how many times we actually blitzed. And every time we blitzed Kirk, a lot of bad things happened. We only probably blitzed Kirk 3 times the whole game. Like, it was just sit back.
He was chilling. Kirk was chilling.
Cousins with a little smoothie, caked up in Hawaii. Just like, okay, Darnell Mooney's over the middle. Bam. Okay, sit back. This guy, Kyle Pitts, was even catch. If Kyle Pitts catches, the game is just dumb. You have the worst defensive scheme.
Hey, Kyle Pitts a unicorn. I mean, Kyle Pitts finally got a quarterback that's gonna give him that rock. So that's good. But I don't know, man. I mean, the Eagles look fine. And the Saquon play call where he dropped the ball, I thought it was a good play call, bro. In the game when you got a chance to end the game, I wasn't mad at that. I think the Eagles are fine. But in the end, it's on Jalen Hurts, bro. I feel like it was on Jalen Hurts a little bit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what's wrong. I'm not going to say nothing's wrong with them. But the Super Bowl year, phenomenal, bro. There was nothing you could tell me about Jalen Hurts where I was like, okay. Yes, he has his problems, he has his flaws, but he's still an upper echelon quarterback in the league. I'm tired of just seeing him fluctuate between the top upper echelon quarterback to that middle of the pack. I'm tired of seeing that, bro. And for the Eagles to be great, he has to be on 10 at all times. He has to.
Something I see a lot of quarterbacks that can move like with their legs. I feel like I call it being antsy. Like, he looks very antsy all the time. And that's probably one of the weirdest things to me because it's not like his O-line sucks. He has probably the top 3 O-line in the league. Obviously, we miss Jason Kelsey. But it's like he has the pocket and he wants to escape it like all the time. But he's not like a Lamar. He runs a lot slower. So I'm like, it's kind of weird, you know. That I don't know. It's one of those weird like things you'll see. Like if you watch the next game against the Saints, you'll see him being a little bit antsy, wanting to get out of the pocket, but he doesn't. When he wants to play make, there's nothing there. So it just kind of looks like a strange play call. Like, it's on Jalen Hurts.
How do you feel about the Eagles coaching staff right now? How many more years do you give Sirianni before you're out on that experiment?
I mean, I don't know. People tend to look at Sirianni in a weird way. I look at it as he took us to the Super Bowl, a couple NFC Championship games in like the past 4 years. Like, we've been contenders. So like, I think getting rid of Nick Sirianni would be the stupidest thing the Eagles do because then you're going to start watching us go from Super Bowls, NFC Championships, all the way down to barely making a division. Well, maybe making the playoffs, but like the wild card, and then barely making the playoffs to not making the playoffs because new coaching regimes do things differently. Big fan of the Kellen Moore upgrading offense. A lot of motion. We didn't do a lot of motion. We are getting a little away from the RPO system, which I think kind of worked the best for the Eagles. But the motion helps make it easier on the quarterback, allow him getting different tails and things like that on defense. I like Kellen Moore. Vic, I'm still shaky on Vic.
Still shaky on Vic, Mr. Vic Fangio, man. Kellen Moore. Okay, the RPO scheme works great for the Eagles because I feel like the receivers that y'all have, honestly, like AJ Brown, bro, obviously stupid, dummy, physical. So it's really hard to check him one-on-one, especially on a quick glance. Devontae Smith got feet. His feet don't lie. Very great route runner. And he's not afraid to take contact over the middle of the field. That's what I love about Devontae Smith personally. Like, he really does whatever it takes to win. So, for the Eagles, I feel like to get back on track. Do what you do best. Keep running the football. Keep making people play your game. And on defense, you got to send some odd looks, bro. You got to try some stunts. You got some fast defensive linemen, bro. You got to try some stunts. You got to try something to get to the quarterback because what I was watching, I ain't never seen Kirk have that much time since he was in Washington. Probably his last year in Washington. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I ain't going to say shout out to the Falcons because, I mean, I hate the Falcons. And you should too at home. You should hate them too, right? But
Shout out to the Falcons, man. They did their thing.
they did their thing. I would say they did their thing, and it was pretty cool seeing all the younger talent that they have finally get a moment to do something in an important primetime game. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever, man. Will the Panthers get there one day? I hope so. I'm just salty. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to week 3, J-Man. We're going to move on to week 3. We're going to
ask you your predictions. Let's last week you asked me mine. Let's start with you.
All right.
All right.
Give it to me.
We got not too long, so let's go ahead and try to. Let me just give me quick, and I'll ask you to elaborate on maybe a couple. All right, starting with the Giants. Dang, that was not English. Giants and the Browns. Who you got?
Go ahead and give me the Browns.
Okay. Eagles, Saints.
I'm gonna go. Oh gosh, Eagles, Saints. Is AJ playing, or he's out for a while?
He's still hurt. He'll be out for like maybe 4 weeks.
Give me the Eagles. I don't think the Saints have been tested too harshly yet. The Cowboys, they can't test nobody with the run, bro. So it's literally gonna be you stop Dak, you're good in the hood, bro. It just is what it is. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Okay. Texans, Vikings.
Give me the Texans.
Okay. Broncos, Bucks.
Give me the Bucks.
Okay. Packers, Titans.
The Titans just had
Packers 2-0.
Yeah, Malik Willis won a game. It's Malik Willis revenge game, which is exactly why I'm gonna take the Titans.
Malik, we rooting for you, bro.
Nah, see, no, for real though, because honestly, the Titans should have beat the Jets like wholeheartedly. I mean, it was some miscommunications down the stretch, but the Titans overall, they're not a terrible team. Like they compete, so. Yeah, give me the Titans, bro, for a dub. Honest to God.
Bears, Colts.
Damn. Bears, Colts.
Rookie and sophomore matchup right here.
I don't think they're gonna be able to stop Jonathan Taylor, bro.
Yeah.
The Colts are at home, correct?
Yes, they are.
They're at home. They're 0-2. This is a hard game. I think the Colts are going to win, but I think Caleb Williams is going to have the best performance he's had.
Okay. That's tough.
Yeah.
All right. Chargers, Steelers. Both 2-0 teams now.
Herbert's banged up right now.
Yes, he is.
I'm going to go with the... Oh, my God.
Do I hear upset?
Nah, I'm going to go with the Steelers, bro. I'm going to go with the Steelers because I expect them to play tougher football down the stretch. Okay. Like the Chargers, what's going to make the Chargers kind of sneaky good is if J.K. Dobbins and Gus can stay healthy, bro. They are actually a crazy tandem on the ground. I'm not going to lie. And I trust Herbert more than I would Fields. It's just I trust the Steelers to get a stop before the Chargers to get a stop. So it's kind of hard to judge that.
Now the Dolphins and the Seahawks, and obviously this game will be led by Skylar Thompson and not Tua. So yes, what do you think?
Yeah, go ahead and give me the Seahawks game. They playing good football for sure. And I think Kenneth Walker's back, so even more of a boost for them over there.
Yes. The next game is actually your team, the Panthers and the Raiders.
Go ahead and give me the damn Panthers, man. I don't care. We are terrible. We are so bad. Hold on, we got a comment. We got a comment. My boy Nick said, "Yo, shout out Nick."
Hey, shout out Nick, man. Appreciate you for tuning in.
My dog. Hey, we touring on my bad. Yeah, the Steelers. Yeah, if this is the Nick I'm thinking about, he's talking about the Steelers. And I like the Steelers, bro. And what's funny about the Steelers is they have 4 defensive players in passer rating against them. So like they're really good on D, basically. Dante Jackson's on there. That blew my mind. Okay. I was like, bro, I've seen so much Dante Jackson in the past years. They really reinvented him, made him a good corner. I can't believe it. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. Shout out to everything they got going on over there. So that's them. Okay, we were on the Panthers in Vegas. Yeah, man. Give me an Andy Dalton special, dog. You know, Carolina is good for 1 win every year.
They are.
I think they might take this one.
I think this is a game Bryce should have probably played, and then against the tougher Sam in there. But
yeah, it's close.
We got not too long, so I'm gonna try to speed the rest of these. Like fire, because you still got to do your parlay. 49ers, Rams.
49ers.
Okay, Lions, Cardinals.
Give me the Lions.
Okay, Ravens, Cowboys.
Give me the Ravens.
Okay, interesting. I would love to elaborate on that, but we'll take a second. Chiefs, Falcons.
No Pacheco.
Yeah, no Pacheco. Alfred.
Another primetime game for Kirk in Atlanta, bro, which is kind of lit.
Hey, like, Kirk always turn it up Atlanta, man.
I don't like I said, I hate Atlanta, but I love their atmosphere at their games. It's not even like they really do have a good atmosphere. ATL folks are gonna turn up for their city anytime they have a chance. It doesn't matter. Give me the Chiefs though. Still, give me the Chiefs still. But the Falcons are gonna give them hell. Like for real.
Jags, Bills.
Monday night game. Jags, bear the Jags or
they play at Bills too.
Give me the Jags for their first win.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Terrible, but give me them for their first win.
Commanders, Bengals.
We got 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, it's roughly in the same time frame too. Which is
kind of nuts. Well, I'm probably gonna be watching. Give me the Bengals. The Bengals kind of like they're starting to figure it out a little bit.
Okay. And real quick for the spotlight game.
My boy Nick said the Steelers are T.J. Watt merchants. And it seems like Derek Carr is playing off that loud the way he hooping. We agree here.
The Mirakuru? Yes.
Yeah.
We
agree. He's off that Joker toxin every time he steps on the field. That man ain't got a conscience.
You saw the Michael Jackson celebration.
Yeah, he did a Michael Jackson celebration. Speaking of celebration, before we even move on to the spotlight, the celebrations in the NFL and college have been so good.
Yes.
I just want to thank the players personally for their creativeness.
And
so thank you.
I don't know if it's a quick stat, but I saw this on Twitter. I wanted to bring it up when we brought up Derek Carr. So apparently in New Orleans, a record has been set that there has not been murder in the last 18 days. I don't know if that correlates to Derek Carr winning the first 2 games of the season, but maybe Derek Carr is uniting the city of NOLA because they actually have something to look for now. No one wants to kill each other. They want to band together, watch some football. And you know what I'm saying? Life continues to go. So shout out Derek Carr. I don't know if that has any correlation, but he might be saving the city of New Orleans.
Shout out. None of them. So
okay. Strange strange game of the week, but give me the Lions and the Cardinals. I think that'd be a really interesting game to watch. I think Kyler just kind of just getting started with Marvin, their connection. So it wasn't the greatest week 1, but week 2, I don't know, like some good stuff happening down there. And then obviously the Lions are the Lions. They're really good right now. So
Okay.
not too long. So Pete, go ahead and give me your parlay of the week, man.
My parlay of the week, bro. I ain't even made a parlay for y'all because last week was so bad, but we can make one right now. So, I mean, the odds are probably gonna be. I don't know actually. We're gonna do anytime touchdown scores again, like we always do. Give me anytime touchdown score. I'm gonna take Travis Etienne. Etienne has scored in every game this season. I mean, if we were talking about this yesterday, I would probably would have said Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall has also scored every game in the season.
Yes.
But you can give me Jamar Chase this week to score his first touchdown, I'm pretty sure, of the year against the Commanders. I mean, because if they going to have Brian on them, Forbes is clip. Also, shout out to that streamer. What was that? I forgot his name, man. The streamer where him and Jamar Chase was playing, man, and he told him, you ain't going to have over 50 yards on us. And Jamar Chase was like, bet. So I'm automatically going to bet on Jamar Chase this week. He's the real funny guy. He be calling the cops on the good players. I forgot his name, bro. But if y'all see him, y'all going to know what I'm talking about.
That's
So right now, give me anytime touchdown scorer, ETN, Jamar Chase. Give me anytime touchdown scorer, Jordan Mason for the Niners. Probably going to punch one in. You can also give me anytime touchdown scorer, Alvin Kamara. Simply because Bijan just did unthinkable things to the Eagles. I'm going to expect AK to do something too. So that's 4 players right there that you can go ahead and book for anytime touchdowns. I mean, we not completely out of time, Jman. So, I mean, we got 3 minutes. So, is there anything you want to say to the people, or do you want to just comment?
I actually want to respond to Nick real quick. Nick was asking who was in the lead for MVP. Actually, I was looking at the Vegas Insider website, which has the NFL odds. So, for MVP, currently, they actually have Mahomes, and Derek Carr is very much down there, which is a little weird. So, I don't know how accurate this website is because they have, like, Josh Allen, Stroud after that, Hurts after him, Aaron Rodgers, Purdy. And some of these guys I know aren't playing better than Derek Carr. So
this is just betting odds right here, J-Man. So basically what they own is this is who people are betting on to win MVP.
Oh, okay, word. I mean,
so it's like, I don't know who put money down on Derek Carr, but if you are, you better hope he's still balling the way he's balling by December or January. That's all you can really hope for. But, I mean, if you really want to keep it a stack, the MVPs of their team, I'll give you a top 3, Nick, if you really care like that. Derek Carr, obviously, MVP. Sam Darnold, for some reason, that's probably in the race for MVP right now.
That's not bad.
Baker Mayfield probably is as well. And for our upper echelon players, probably Mahomes because he's 2-0. Stroud, he's 2-0. And then if you wanted a low-key MVP, I would probably go with, I would make a bid for Kyler Murray by the end of the year, maybe. If the Cardinals end up winning a lot of games, I'll make a bid for him as well.
I have a rather interesting question. Where do you see the Giants at the end of? Well, okay, actually, let me say this. If you could predict right now who are the top 5 draft picks in order from 1 through 5, where would you think teams are going to end up by the end of the season?
Okay, Carolina number 1. Probably with the first overall pick. Carolina, hopefully it's Travis Hunter. Number 2, I'll probably go Giants. Number 3, I would go Broncos. Number 4, I would maybe go Patriots. And number 5, I would probably go with the Commanders.
Okay.
So 2-1 division is crazy, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that might be, like, as things stand, that might be how things shake out. I think the Commanders did a real good job with Jaden. Jaden is going to be good in the league, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie.
I think so too.
But, yeah, they still need defense. There's really defense. And having Dan Quinn, I just know they're drafting defense, so I'm not even tripping on that. But
I think the Panthers can maybe trade down just like maybe a spot or two just to recoup some picks because obviously we know how quarterback carousel goes. Somebody's going to want to trade the one for Quinn or trade for who they deem number one or number two even. So they might.
I would agree with you, J-Man, if it wasn't this draft class.
Okay.
Just because I feel like, well, yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. I mean, quarterback probably will go first. You have to be sure, though. You can't get fooled, bro. You can't draft anybody but Hunter. I'm sorry. There's nobody that you can draft but Hunter at this point.
I think last year was a good example of teams reaching for players. Like, obviously, we saw, I think JJ McCarthy's going to be good. They didn't. I think the Vikings moved up maybe a couple picks to grab him. The Broncos moved up quite a bit to grab Bo Nix, which and then, how the rest of the early draft went on as well. So I think quarterbacks tend to get shot off the board nowadays versus like old school drafts where it could just be really anybody that was up there. But now teams kind of want their guy early on where they we've talked about earlier in the pod. So you want to go take a look at that. But people tend to try to grab a quarterback and change their franchise right away. And I just think people are going to choose really wrong in the draft. really, really wrong.
You ain't lying. All I know is Carolina better get Travis. I don't care about nothing else. If Travis Hunter on the board and David Tepper has a selection card in his hand, he better send it in. Jamin, I'm telling you now, if he don't, I'm done.
I think Travis should be a Panther by the time he makes it to the league. So we'll see.
We'll see. And what else will we see? We'll see more games on Sunday, and we'll be back to talk about it again next Friday. Me and J-Man want to thank everybody for reaching out. Shout out my boy Nick. Shout out whoever was in here. Shout out Tariq. Shout out everybody. I'm pretty sure Tariq probably was in here at some point. But shout out everybody that was watching us. All the support. If y'all got any questions, reach out on Twitter. J-Man's handle is right there. Right there or right there. I don't know which one. My handle was directly right here. The one and only. I just hit 2,000 followers on Twitter, man. So the more the merrier. We trying to get to 3K, 4K, one of them. Who knows? I'm just an ugly dude that like to talk about sports. So shout out to everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.